And now I stay asleep until the nightmare's natural conclusion, which provides you with some closure. You're like, oh, he stabs me at the end. Okay, plot twist, M. Nightmare Shyamalan. I used to be a really toxic girlfriend. I've worked on it a lot in therapy over the years. I was a nightmare in my 20s. I was dating a guy once in my 20s, and we were laying on the couch one night, and we weren't fighting, and I thought that was weird. So I turned to him, and I said, hey, babe, if you found out that we were cousins, would you break up with me? And he goes, yes. And I was like, whoa, fast. No follow-up questions. You're just out like that. He goes, it's illegal, Taylor. I'm like, so are mushrooms, and we did those. Now you're this law-abiding citizen just because we're cousins? He goes, you're so wrong about this. Ask anyone we know. So I texted the 3 happiest couples in my phone. And I said, hey, if you two found out you're cousins, you didn't know when you met, you haven't known this whole time you've been together, you have the same relationship you've always had, but whoops, you're cousins. Would you break up? And they all wrote back, do we have to tell anybody? And I showed him my phone and I said, that's what love looks like. Quick poll. If you found out your partner was your cousin, clap if you would break up with them. Okay. That's a lot of people. No, don't discuss. Fight in the car. Fight in the car. Okay, now, if you found out your partner was a robot, clap if you would break up with them. Oh, interesting. Bit of a drop-off over here. Some of us clap for cousin and not for robot. Okay, so we're going to abandon our family, but we'll keep fucking the toaster. Okay, well, that makes sense. In therapy, I figured out the day in my childhood I became an emotional eater. I was 8 years old and I was eating a bagel in the kitchen, and my dad came in and he goes, you're gonna wanna put that bagel down. I gotta tell you something. And that's when he told me that my mom had died. So somewhere in my brain, something clicked like, oh, when you stop eating bread, people perish. I went back to 4th grade like the angel of death. Everyone's like, step on a crack, break your mother's back. I'm like, stop eating bread, now your mom's dead, dude. They left out that second part, but I had a list when I was 8. I tell you guys that because no one told me. They pulled me aside a year later at school. Someone's like, Taylor, your teacher thinks you might be struggling with a speech impediment. I'm like, what's a speech impediment? Are you sure you have the right person? Because I'm crushing it out there. And they're like, you didn't do anything wrong. You pronounce your words a little differently. Like you say sh instead of s for your S's. Does that make sense? And I was like, I'm pretty sure I would have noticed if I said sh instead of sh. Hope you find who you're looking for. If you have any follow-up questions, I'll be on the seesaw. I know dead mom jokes make people uncomfortable. I know that. And if you are uncomfortable, I don't know what to say. You should have worked harder, so it was you up here. No, honestly, I never want to make people feel uncomfortable with that information. So much so that I used to lie to everybody growing up. I used to tell everybody that my parents were separated so I wouldn't have to say my mom's dead. And that worked very well until recently a friend of mine found out I had lied. And she was very upset. She was like, your mom's dead? Taylor, you told me your parents were separated. And I was like, well, they were. By Jesus. Both her parents are alive, so she has no idea how funny that is, but she'll get it eventually, right? Like, that joke is a slow burn. Kind of like cancer, which is what got mine. Hey-o! Okay, all right. Oh, here's the deal, Boston. We have another, 6 minutes of dead mom jokes. I know, you're getting like, oh no, 6 minutes, that's a long time. It won't feel long. I've cushioned her, all right? I have laid my dead mom to rest in a beautiful casket of dick jokes and pop culture references. There's something for everybody over the next 6 minutes. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll forget she's dead. But I know a lot's happening for you as a crowd right now, because you're like, Taylor, we're good people. Good people wouldn't laugh at dead mom jokes. I'm here to tell you that if you're trying to be a good person at a comedy show, you're wasting your goddamn time. Trying to be a good person at a comedy show is like trying to recycle at a theme park. You're already in here and part of the problem. Put your hands up and have fun. And I know you're good people. You're like, Taylor, we've known you for 25 minutes. We hate that anything bad ever happened to you even once. Thank you so much, Boston. But what you have to understand is the bad thing already happened. And now I'm talking about it into a microphone in front of people who paid to be here. Which means now the bad thing is money. Do you think I'd be this successful at my age if I had a live mom? No. I'd be a creative writing teacher who loved myself, and I'd be sitting in the dark with you peasants, okay? She's in heaven. I'm on Netflix. It all worked out. That is a real thing I said in therapy. To which my therapist responded, you should come in twice this week. Some people get sad because I was 8 when it happened, but 8 is a great time to lose a parent because you're so stupid, you barely know what's going on. All Gen Z, they're all queer, they're all in serious relationships, and they are all so disappointed in me every time I start dating another straight white guy. They're like, come on, Taylor, fuck the patriarchy. I'm like, you guys, I'm literally fucking the patriarchy. Do you know how hard it is to continue dating straight men when you are surrounded by 3 queer relationships up close? Queer relationships are the most beautiful, thoughtful, creative things I've ever seen in my life. My sister and her partner are in a romance novel. Every time I talk to them, I'm like, hey, I know you had a hard week at work. You doing okay? And she's like, yeah, I did. So to cheer me up, my partner got me my favorite snack in a limited edition flavor. They got me a little vial of sand from the beach we went to on our first date. And you know how I always wanted an easy bake oven growing up and never got it? They found one on eBay. I'm like, oh my God, are they cheating on you? She's like, what? No, they just listen to me when I talk and remember things I say. And I'm like, what? No, go through their phone. This shit stinks. Go through their phone, trust me. She's like, okay, how are you and your boyfriend doing, Taylor? I'm like, oh, we're good. My boyfriend bought me a hot dog because he wanted one, and I was there too. You had to be there. It was so romantic. He was like, what? Sorry, too, I guess. I don't mean to shit on straight guys. You're very sweet. I've dated a lot of you, but oh my God, you are so proud of yourselves for almost nothing in a relationship. It is impressive to watch. Honestly, a straight man will put a candle in his bathroom and be like, I changed my whole life for you. And you're like, you didn't even light it, man. It kind of smells like lavender if you get down real close. I'd trade this candle for a slice of empathy, if I'm being honest with you. Have you tried to explain the concept of empathy to a tall, handsome white guy? That is a delicate conversation. You're like, okay, imagine that you're me, but I'm not. Okay. Hard to argue, touche. Imagine that you feel how I feel, but I don't. Okay. Imagine that you could feel how I feel. I never will. Okay. Imagine you're a basketball player. Okay. What else? I like this game. Fine. All right. So in this analogy, you're a basketball player. And you're a really great teammate. How about that? You love your team. You're loyal to your team. You do everything for your team. And your team is not noticing. Your team is not appreciating you for all you do, for the MVP that you are. And this week, your team forgot your birthday. Now, how does that make you feel? That sucks. Yes. Try and get a hot guy to empathize is like try and get a woman to come. They're like, nobody move! We're so close. It's a car alarm. It's a car alarm. Stay focused, please. Work so hard. So anyway, I've been trying to figure out if I'm bisexual or if I just in that joke that I have trouble sleeping, DC. Please, for the love of God, do not DM me articles after this show. I know you mean well, but I promise you I've read every sleep article out there. 3 ways how to sleep better. It is the same recycled tips. Over and over and over. Get a light lavender mist to spray on the cold side of your pillow at twilight. What am I, a witch? Make sure it's really dark and quiet in your room at night. Oh my God, it's supposed to be dark? I'm such a dumb bitch. I've been sleeping under a disco ball because vibes. I didn't know. Okay, dark, quiet, check. Fixed! Why not leave your cell phone in a different room at night? Why don't you put your baby outside? This is not to say that I'm against sleep advice. I'm just jaded, you know? I think I feel the way about sleep tips the way a lot of men feel about porn, where I'm like, no, I've seen all the basic stuff. Send me something weird. Now I'm going to ask this question, and let me preface this by saying it's totally okay if nobody has an answer. I ask every audience every night. It's nothing weird. If you think that you have a weird sleep tip that I've never heard of, I've read every article, I've listened to every podcast, I've seen a lot of TikToks, I ask this question to every audience every night of this tour. If you think you have a weird sleep tip that I have never, ever heard of, I would love for you to raise your hand and tell me what that is. That being said, if anybody raises their hand and goes, have you tried the Calm meditation app? I will have you removed. It's okay if no one has one. Does anyone have a weird sleep tip? Oh, we got a confident one right here. What have you got? Masturbate? Bitch, please. You think I haven't tried masturbating? I don't go to sleep, I come to sleep. Next. All right. What else we got? Thanks for playing. All right, what have we got? There's 2 things. Oh. And I do them in order. Okay.
You have to do a handstand.
I have to do a handstand against the wall? Okay, yoga. No. This sounds like I need to be hotter for this. I can't. All right. I just want to hear the end. So you do a handstand against the wall. Yeah. Just for a couple seconds. Okay. Yeah, just easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. This is how hot people talk. They're like, just do a handstand for 10 seconds. This is no big deal. You're like, some of us are top heavy. All right. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Upside down.
And then you sleep upside down. Okay, I haven't heard the handstand part, but I have heard sleep upside down because it changes the bed. Yeah. It confuses your body. Yeah, confuse yourself to sleep. Okay, that's one. I've half heard that one. Okay, so, we'll half give it to you. Anybody else think they have a weird one? Like, really weird? It's okay if nobody does. I'm just curious. Okay, who said woo? All right, do it. What do you got?
Listen to him talk.
Listen to who?
This guy.
Listen to the guy you're with talk? Are you trying to get left? Or are you trying to offload your partner right now? Like, this one's available if he just talks and talks and talks. You fall asleep eventually. This bit right here. Wow, okay. That was fun. We all stepped in a divorce. Wasn't that a good time? That's the first time that's happened when I asked that question. Every night of the tour. Never gotten one of those. I can take this boring piece of shit home. All right, this is the last one. What do you got?
Listen to someone's random phone call in the other room. I've listened to my mom have a conversation with my grandma.
You eavesdrop on somebody's phone conversation from the other room? You've listened to your mom talk to your grandma? Did you miss the whole part where I said, I am alone? At least the last girl offered me someone. Have you tried falling asleep to the sound of people who love you in the other room? I would that I could! Okay, well, those hurt my feelings. I'm gonna tell you the best one I've heard on this tour. That's when I heard on this tour. It was a few months ago. There was a woman in the front row. She raised her hand. She goes, I have a weird sleep tip. I said, what do you got? She goes, when I can't sleep, I lay on the floor in the kitchen for 10 minutes. And I was like, okay. And then what happens? She goes, then I get back in bed, I go sleep. This poor girl, abusive parents herself. She's like, oh, I turned 30 2 weeks ago. And that means, thank you. And that means that I have spent the last 14 years of my life trying to get good at this, trying to get good at stand-up, trying to have the career that I am now fortunate enough to have. Thanks to all of you, honestly, yeah. And as grateful as I am, and as lucky as I am, it has really made me, this year especially, go, oh no, I don't know if I'm going to be good at this other stuff. I mean, I know I'm a good comedian. I don't know if I'm a good person. I don't know if I'm a good parent. I don't know if I'm a good partner. This hour of material that I'm doing right now, that's like, can I have it all? I don't even know. This is not a bit, DC. I am genuinely concerned. Because I know how hard it is to do this job and be in this business and have a family. I see how hard friends of mine work at it. I also see how little work people put into it. There are a lot of people in this business who are like, you can have kids and travel. They got FaceTime now, which feels like tying your dog up outside a coffee shop and going, I can see him through the window. He's okay. And I still have a lot of childhood shit that I'm working through on my own. I don't want to put that on a kid, right? Like, I was watching a TED Talk recently. Sorry, I was watching a TikTok recently. I always get those confused. The information's still good, it's just vertical. That said, if you have childhood trauma you are still working through as an adult, you need to learn how to parent yourself as a grown-up. So I've been trying to do that in order to heal. I've been trying to parent myself. But I kind of feel like I got pregnant with me in high school. And I was not ready for this responsibility. And now I wake up every morning, totally overwhelmed, trying not to shake me. Like, okay, if I let you watch TikTok on my phone for 30 minutes, will you please stop crying? All my friends are like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I think I have colic. I kept me up all night. I love TikTok, but you know what's so funny to me about TikTok? All these kids on TikTok who are like lip syncing and dancing and like pretending they're in a music video, right? We all did that growing up, didn't we? Yeah, like alone in your room in the mirror, hairbrush, of course. But if anyone had walked in on you doing it, you would have killed yourself, right? And these kids are online, like, I hope millions of people see this. It's like, you could benefit from some bullying, I think. Might have overcorrected a bit. But I do have a lot of friends who are getting married and having kids, and, they're condescending as hell. It's so funny how the same girls who used to wake up drunk on train tracks are now like, I don't know how you stay out past 10 p.m. Your lifestyle's really unhealthy. I'm like, I've seen you snort coke off a rusty bike rack. But you keep sniffing that baby's head like we all forgot. But my friends who have kids and are married, like, they complain about their jobs, and I do the same dismissive thing right back to them, where I'm like, well, yeah, but you're married, so you're fine. They're like, yeah, but I'm miserable 60 hours of the week. I'm like, yeah, but you have your dream dick, so you're fine. And it's not great, and I think part of it is that we're all turning 30, and 30 was this age in our heads where we're like, well, by 30, we'll have all our shit together, right? So that kept us going through our 20s. We're like, we're 25, and we're garbage, but in 5 years, we'll have it all figured out. And then you're like, I'm 27, and I'm just a piece of shit, but I have 3 years to turn this around. And then you're like, okay, I'm 29, crunch time, bitch. And now that we're all 30, we're like, oh shit, our lives are not going exactly as we always pictured them. And so now there's this weird comparing that's going on, this weird tension. Like, I know that all of my friends both pity and envy me. Just like I know that I both pity and envy them, right? I know my friends look at me and go, yeah, I mean, I would probably focus on work if I was all alone. And I go, yeah, I'd probably have a bunch of kids if I had no talent. So we're all... it's not healthy per se. But I do think it's good to focus on what is going right in your life. I think that that's gratitude. I think that that's important. And it has gotten me through a lot of weddings and baby showers to have my dream job. To sit in the back row like, yeah, whatever. Have your bullshit love party. Hope it works out. I'm still gonna have the coolest job of anybody you know. And that was true until somebody married an astronaut. And everybody's so impressed. I guess astronaut beats everything. They're like, you gotta admit, Taylor, that's the coolest job. And I'm like, oh, he's gotta wear a costume or he'll die? Fuck off. That's a dumb job. Now, if I can't breathe somewhere, I don't go there, Dan. That's just science. Dan hasn't even been to space, you guys. He just goes to work and practices space. That's his job. He goes in, they put him in a roller coaster ride. They're like, don't throw up. He's like, you got it, Captain. What a hero. I'm not. I'm running into obstacles I never thought I'd face. I got dumped by a polyamorous person. You ever been dumped by a polyamorous person? It sucks. It's like getting fired from a part-time job. They're like, you can't even work here Mondays and Tuesdays. Holy shit. I didn't think I was going to like dating somebody poly. She was poly. I was busy. But it actually ended up being the most honest, transparent, communicative relationship I'd ever been in. And I was totally in love with her. And she dumped me because I worked too much. And let me tell you something, Grand Rapids. When I started dating a polyamorous person, I did not think it was going to end because my lifestyle didn't work for them. I know some of you don't believe me. You're like, there's no way you liked being poly, Taylor. You are not cool. You reek of monogamy. I bet you masturbate to Bridgerton. And you know what? I don't. I have, but I don't. That joke's not going in the special. There's no way. No. That's way too vulnerable to put on Netflix. We'll not be doing that. Unless it helps the algorithm. We'll have to talk about it. If Netflix was like, if you liked Bridgerton. Listen to that. We always get the cast of Pirates of the Caribbean. We always get Shigo from Kim Possible. We always get Robin Hood the Fox version. And then people always ask what my queer awakening was. And my queer awakening, I figured out because I was watching home movies of me as a little kid. And I found this video of me talking to my mom when I was like 3 or 4. And do you guys remember the girl deer from Bambi, Pauline? Okay, so apparently Pauline was my queer awakening. And we do have the footage.
Why is he best?
Because he's just the best.
Well, what about Pauline? Isn't she the best too?
Yeah, she's very pretty. She makes me like a hot dog in a pan.
She makes you like a hot dog in a pan? My goodness, what does that mean?
I don't know.
Thank you so much, Grand Rapids. I cannot thank you enough. One more time for Sophie Buttle, everybody. I actually did get into a new relationship pretty quickly after I called off my engagement. I wasn't trying to. I really wasn't. A lot of my friends were like, you should stay single for a while. You should maybe get a cat. And I was like, hard pass. I have never left an interaction with a cat feeling better about who I was. Every cat reacts to people the way I react to seeing girls I went to middle school with in a Target. Just like, oh no! Like that's every cat. I don't want to come home to that energy. But I wasn't looking for a relationship. I was trying to have like a fun, sexy fling, which doesn't usually go great for me because I have this round, wholesome face that people think they should build a life with. Every time I'm like, we could bone or whatever, guys are like, no, I'm all right. But you could meet my mom. Do you want to do that? You seem like you'd be better at meeting my mom than having sex. And they are not wrong. All right? I will meet your mom all night long. Moms like me so much for no reason. I was dating a guy years ago. We were totally on the rocks having problems. And I went to lunch with his mom hoping to get some advice. And halfway through lunch, she puts her hand on my hand and goes, you know, Taylor, my son's a lot like his father. And if I could go back in time, I don't know that I'd marry his father again. And I was like, are you saving my life in this Panera Bread right now? It was like a movie when an older character sacrifices themselves for the good of the journey. Like, she Gandalfed me. She's like, fly, you fool! She was a bad mom and a bad wife, but such a good friend. Oh my God. Hoes before sons, am I right? I think about her every day. And my boyfriend wasn't looking for a relationship either when we met. Straight dudes usually aren't, you know? Women are surprised when they find a guy who can make them come, and straight dudes are surprised when they find a girl who can make them feel genuine feelings in their heart. Like, women are like, he got me off 3 times, and guys are like, I mean, I just fucking like her, dude. Like... Like, we talked all day. I didn't want to hit her. It was nuts. She's just like my friend. I don't know. I want to like lick her heart, I think. Straight dudes are so proud of themselves for falling in love. It's really cute. They're like, I love you. Hell yeah, buddy. I knew you could get there. Women fall in love. We're like, I love you. Fucking again, you dumb bitch. You were supposed to love you first. You keep skipping that part. It is eat, pray, then love. Oh, God, it's okay. We'll try again in a year and a half. My boyfriend is 7 years older than me because I need to get back at my dad for some stuff. Older guys are just better. They're just better. You never have to ask them to buy Pepto-Bismol. They just have it in the house. They pull it out after dinner like a nightcap. Like, you want some pink juice, baby girl? You're like, yes, they would. Cheers. Older guys don't call you things like cute or hot. They call you things like stunning, gorgeous, shit with syllables. Things that would take a 20-something guy a little while to sound out. And older guys aren't, like, cute or hot either. You know, they're handsome, distinguished, like old pictures of your grandpa you shouldn't look at too long. You ever find one of those in an old dusty box? You're like, who is that? Oh, that's wrong. Okay. They're not your family in those pictures yet. They're just the past. It is a gray area. Oh, I'll get weirder. You ever see a picture of your parents when they were young and hot and you get like weirdly mad because you know they would have never dated you? I saw a picture of my dad in college football once. I didn't talk to him for 3 weeks. I'm like, you would have left me at a drive-in, you Danny Zuko piece of shit. He's like, what? I'm like, I can't hug you for a year and I don't want to talk about it. My favorite thing about being on a network TV show is that they would bleep all the bad words and cut some of the more raunchy stuff, which means that my religious grandparents could watch the show and it wouldn't hurt their ears as much as my stand-up does. Not to say that my grandparents aren't supportive. They really are. I think that they're doing a really good job trying to understand where their liberal, agnostic grandkids are coming from. I can't stand it when people are too hard on their grandparents. If your grandparents are trying to understand you, you got to give them some grace if they mess up here and there terms-wise. When people are like, oh, well, my grandma cannot remember my pronouns. I'm like, does your grandma remember her address? Grandma's got bigger fish to fry. The light is coming. Also, do you know how old your grandma is? I don't. Mine's been 62 for 40 years. Also, you're taking more pictures of your grandparents than you ever have before, and they've got to know why, and that can't feel good. My grandparents are the best example I have in my life of Christianity done right. They're very loving, forgiving, non-judgmental people. But my siblings and I are all agnostic because we didn't grow up with that type of Christianity. We grew up in our scary Christian house. And when you grow up with something that hurts you as a kid, you don't really want it in your Barbie dream house as a grown-up, right? I also don't wear belts or use wooden spoons. That's not a coincidence. Oh, thank God. We were all lightly abused. Again, did that joke in Sweden, thought they were gonna call somebody. There's nothing worse than admitting to a room full of people that you got hit when they got tucked in at night. It is humiliating. No, I don't keep anything in my house that hurt me as a kid. No Bibles, no belts, no bridge to Terabithia. I'm hoping the author sees this and writes me a personalized apology. I do think that when you grow up in a scary religious environment, you spend a lot of your young adulthood untangling who you are from who they wanted you to be. Like, I just came out really good. That was not the feedback I kept getting from romantic partners, by the way. That's not what finally made me get help. Every guy I've ever dated has told me I have trust issues, which is something liars say when you're onto them. You have trust issues, babe. You have a hot coworker and a locked phone, so. I have trust issues, but I earned them, okay? I absolutely earned them. Like, I got cheated on in college. My college boyfriend was sleeping with sex workers behind my back, or prostitutes if you're old and don't know that word's not okay to use anymore. Sometimes older crowd members can get confused because they're like, what is a sex worker? Is that what my granddaughter does on Instagram? And you're like, no. She's just hot. That's a FabFitFun box. That's a different thing. Your granddaughter that's not a job. That's not real. You can't say prostitute anymore. Calling a sex worker a prostitute is like calling a comedian a clown. You're not technically wrong, but you are a fucking asshole. So. But I told my therapist I got cheated on like this, and she didn't say what I wanted her to say, which was, poor baby sweetie, this session is free. Instead, she goes, well, you might be a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I was like, oh. And she's like, no, it's a bad thing. And I was like, oh. Well, then could you say I have self-fulfilling prophecy? Is Selena Gomez a self-fulfilling prophecy? And I said, what does that mean? I'm a self-fulfilling prophecy. And she goes, well, sometimes we expect someone to treat us poorly, so we treat them like they're going to treat us poorly until they do. You thought someone was going to cheat on you, so you treated them like they were going to cheat on you until they did cheat on you. And then you were like, see? And I was like, oh, so I'm a witch. And she's like, ooh, so close, you're a bitch. You gotta get that me. I'm like, whatever, all I heard was Gryffindor. I am working on my trust issues. I was so much worse when I first started seeing my therapist. I told her, like, first session, I was like, the guy I'm dating keeps answering my phone calls, hey, beautiful? And she's like, so what's the problem? I was like, I mean, I don't know yet. But when I find out who beautiful is, she's like, do you think it might be you? I was like, I'm sorry, I thought we were here to work. I think I'm cute or whatever now, but I was an ugly kid with honest parents, and that shit stays in your bones, all right? If you were an ugly kid with honest parents, I don't care how attractive you grow up to be. At any point, if someone's like, you look really nice today, you're like, yeah, whatever, I know the goddamn truth. When I was 10, I said, Dad, am I pretty? And his response was, look. I'm not the best looking guy, right? No, but I wake up every morning and I try. I take a shower, I put on a nice suit, and I do okay. And then he went to work. And I became a comedian, I guess. That was his response to his 10-year-old daughter. Just like, you and me, potato face. These are the cards we were dealt. Get clean and match. That's all you can do. Don't sleep on wet hair. Can't do that. Maybe wear a hat sometimes. Cover up some of that head. I'm sorry, there's so much of it. I think I'm pretty. I have a big head. I know I do, because every guy I've ever dated has made a point to be like, I love your big head. That's my favorite thing guys do when they compliment the thing you hate most about yourself. They're like, I love your soft arms. You're like, okay. Yeah? I love your weird balls. How does it feel? How does it feel to be accepted? I'm a nightmare to date. Anything nice you do or say, I'm just like, whatever. I dated a guy once who told me that flirting with me was like punching water. And I was like, why? Because it's pointless or because you look stupid doing it? He's like, did you hear it? I'm like, I heard it that time. Yeah. And then he cheated on me. So, prophecy fulfilled. I can't help it. At the beginning of a relationship with a guy, I just assume anything nice he does is a move he pulls on everybody. And I'm not gonna fall for your choreography, sir. I'm like, oh, is this your move? You open the car door for me on the date? This is like your move. This is how you do it. It's cute. Bet that works a lot. Oh, is this your move? You go with me to my grandpa's funeral, hold an umbrella over my head in the rain? This is like your move. This is how you do it. Like, oops, don't get wet. Oops, I am. Whatever. This ain't my first rodeo. I used to have 2 grandpas. Oh, is this your move? You die next to me in a hospital bed at 86 years old, holding my hand for all eternity? This is like your move? This is how you get pussy? He's like, we've been together for 60 years. I'm like, you're a fuckboy, and I know it. Don't bury me with this guy. He's been dying with other people behind my back. I can't prove it. Check his phone when he uses the bedpan. At 6. Okay, like 6:30. Do you have time to feel abandoned and worthless? Okay. 6:30 in the parking lot. It's a date. I love you so much. You're doing a great job at work. Bye. That's never happened to me once. Every feeling I have demands to be felt immediately. Every feeling I have demands its own parade. Every feeling I have just turns into that scene from Aladdin where he's pretending to be a prince. Just like, OMG, Taylor's hungry. This could get dicey. Needs a sandwich. Now she's a bitch. Take it from me. But I'm glad I've had this year to work on this stuff because I needed it. A parent die young, you tend to think about death a lot more than other people. I certainly do. I tend to jump to the worst possible scenario. I catastrophize constantly, much to the detriment of many of my relationships. I was dating a guy once and I said, hey babe, when you don't hear back from me for a few hours, do you ever get scared that something bad might have happened to me? And he goes, no. I get scared you're mad at me. Men would rather you be dead than mad at them. Men would rather be in mourning than in trouble. That's the truth. If a guy misses 5 calls from his wife, he's like, oh, I hope this is the paramedic who found her. I also wish that joke didn't work. You know what's so funny to me about men who kill their wives? What? Well, just wait. What's so funny to me about men who kill their wives is like they think they're gonna get away with it. And it's like, dude, you've never planned a goddamn thing in your whole life. You've never made a dinner reservation and now you're gonna hide a body? This is quite the maiden voyage for event planning, dude. Maybe start with a potluck. I do think I've spent a lot of my life being really scared of death. I called off my engagement. Don't do that. Your happiest married friend doesn't remember what it's like to be heartbroken. She's like, well, what are you going to do now? You going to get back out there? Are you seeing anybody? And I was like, nope, just going to focus on my career for a little bit. And she's like, well, why can't you focus on a career and a relationship at the same time? And I was like, how do I explain this in a way you might understand? Why can't I focus on a career and a relationship? Have you ever been on the freeway in traffic and your lane stops, but the one next to you keeps moving, so you get in the one that's moving, and as soon as you get the one that's moving, that one stops, and the one next to you starts moving again. So you get back in that first one, because that one's moving now, and as soon as you get back in that first one, that one stops again, and the one next to you starts moving. And after you go back and forth a few more times, at a certain point, you're like, okay, is it fucking me? And And she's like, yeah, I don't know if I get it because, John and I, we usually just get in the carpool lane. And I was like, where's your baby? I'm gonna drop it. I like that you can inconvenience your family after you're gone. That's fun for me. Because who's gonna say no to taking your ashes home, first off? Like, oh, I couldn't possibly, there's no room at my house. We're full up on haunted cups. Like, nice try, take me home. I'm so small, right? And then if you want your family to spread you somewhere, depending on how you feel about your family, that's where you send them, right? So if you love your family, you're like, I'd like you to spread me in Hawaii over 7 days of PTO. That's what I'd like. Love you guys, miss you. And then if you don't like your family, you can be like, have you been to Toledo? In January. Actually, no, I want you to do it right between Christmas and New Year's. My mom was cremated, and after my mom died, my dad got remarried, and when my dad got remarried, he gave my mom's ashes to my grandma because return to sender, I guess. You're right, I am so sorry. Return to manufacturer, that's what it is. And his reasoning was, he was like, look, I'm getting remarried and I can't take these into another woman's home. And as his daughter, I was like, yes, you can. But as an adult woman now, I'm like, oh, no, you can't. I've dated straight men. I don't like it when they follow their exes on Instagram. You're telling me if he brought a little baggie of her bones inside and was like, this lives under the TV forever, I'd be like, cool, love that there. No, I'd be passive aggressive at best. I would probably flush a teaspoon of her every day. Just. Until one day he picked it up and was like, the urn feels lighter. I'm like, maybe she lost weight. Not you body shaming the urn, babe. You know what's funny about that joke? I don't even really feel that way anymore. I think a younger version of me felt that way. When you're single in your 30s, you don't care about so much. You kind of just want someone who's not going to bug you. That's really, in my 20s, I was so insecure, so toxic. I was like, I need to be someone's first and only true love, their one and only wife. I need to be with someone who does not watch pornography. And now I'm like, you can jerk off to your dead wife if you want. I don't care. You want to put her bones under the TV? Is the TV playing my show? Then that's great. You put as many bitches up there as you want. We'll watch Love is Blind as a family. I told my buddy Dustin that, and he goes, what if you married a guy who was still in love with his dead wife? And I was like, she's not coming back. That's his thing to deal with. You know, lock yourself in the bathroom, smell her shirts, cry it out. But we're going to Chili's at 5. And the coupon's for 2, not 3. So get it all out of your system, babe. Hell, jerk off into the urn if you want. Hey, when life gives you lemons, make cement or whatever. It's romantic. She can swallow one last time. Shame on you for laughing at that. I do think my biggest issue with church wasn't that they wanted us to save people. It's that they wouldn't let you make a good point, right? Anytime you were growing up in church, you were like, well, you have to admit, it was pretty messed up when God did this in the Bible. They'd be like, well, that was the Old Testament, you know? That was before God stopped drinking. Like, that was a different guy. Yeah, he's kind of a fuckboy back there, and then he had a kid, and he's like, I'm different now, you know? He's like, I was in a fraternity. Of course I was drowning people. Like, people change. Anytime you had an unanswerable question at church, they always said the same thing. They'd go, that's a great question. And we can ask God that when we get to heaven. Which, like, if you were God, how pissed would you be that they were sending people up to heaven like that with a bunch of questions for you? You're God. You made everything and everyone. You probably just want to do the ta-da, heaven part. And now every time someone dies, you have to do a press conference? Every time someone dies, you're like, hey, welcome to heaven. They're like, okay, but first, God, when a kid dies, right, and they didn't say the prayer and they didn't get saved, that's an automatic heaven, right, God? You wouldn't send a kid to hell, right, God? Right, God? Right, God? Right, God? And God's like, fucking... Seriously, dude, you're in heaven, bitch. Do you go to Disneyland? Like, hope all the workers get benefits? Like, shut up. You are a killjoy. Yes, the kids are in heaven. We muted the kids so we could all enjoy heaven, but yes. That's a dark one. I know, that's a dark one. I have a dark sense of humor, partially because I grew up in church. Church is a dark place. Every Sunday, you go to a big room where the underlying message is, won't it be great when we all get to be dead with Daddy? That's church. Can't wait to be dead with Dada. That's church. But I can't blame church entirely. I've been masturbating like this my entire adult life, and I recently mentioned it to a friend of mine. And you ever say something out loud and realize you never should have ever? I said it so casually over brunch, didn't even think about it. I was like, oh yeah, I mean, I don't think about anything. Well, I do that. And she was like, what? She put her fork down. What? You don't think about anything? And I was like, oh no, I mean, I think some stuff, obviously. And she was like, what do you think about? And I was like, oh, you know, just like, almost there, making a good time. You know, just like road trip thoughts, like, keep your hands steady, don't fall asleep. Can't wait to get there so I can eat. Better hurry up, Taco Bell's gonna close, you know. And she was like, that is so weird, Taylor. Why don't you just watch porn like a normal person? And I was like, ugh, I don't like porn. Every time I try to watch porn, I'm just like, you gotta shave there too? I'm tired and I'm cold. And I'm not against porn, okay? I'm not one of these people that's like, if you watch porn, it'll ruin your relationship. I don't feel that way, all right? I dated a guy once who was really into massage porn, where the masseuse would like fuck their client at the end, which means sometimes when we had sex, I got a massage! That's an example of porn working for you. But my friend was like horrified. She was like, Taylor, this like monk masturbation thing you do, it is so much creepier and weirder than any porn I've ever seen. And I've seen most of it. And she goes, there are so many different options porn-wise on the internet now. You just go home and Google porn for women, okay? Just do it, I promise. Porn for women. And so I went home and I Googled porn for women so I wouldn't be weird at brunch. And a lot of surprising things came up when I Googled it. First thing that came up when I Googled porn for women was a link to Disney Plus, where all the Avengers movies are. Now, for me personally, they jump around too much. There's too many storylines. You're almost there with Loki, and now we're on Captain America. It's like, I have to start over. That's a different speed, a different pressure, and now there's a raccoon? No. The second thing that came up when I Googled porn for women was a website where real-life couples are uploading amateur sex tapes. Yeah, real-life couples are like, hey, we're so happy and in love. We thought that we would film ourselves making love and then put it online for you, a lonely person. Is it working? Are you wet? And you're like, not in the right place. No. But congratulations, what you have seems really special. But the last thing that came up when I Googled porn for women, I did not know existed. It's something called audio porn. It's exactly what it sounds like. There's no visual aspect. It's all audio. It's not really a porn star. It's more like a porn voice actor talking you through a sexy situation. It's like a podcast, except don't listen while you're driving. And because it's for women, that just means there's a story, right? Anyone can watch. They don't check. They don't just hop on the mic like, now it's out, bitch! Like they ease you into it. And so the one I found is 20 minutes long. I will send it to you if you DM me. And the first 12 minutes, the story is just a man calming you down after you've been in a car wreck. That is the foreplay. And you guys, I came so hard. I mean, I didn't even make it to the sex part. It was the comfort alone. He's like, it's okay, take some deep breaths, don't worry. The insurance companies will figure it out. I'm like, oh my God, that's right, that's why we have insurance. By the time he was like, what else can I do? Should I go down on you? I was like, nah, man, I got Allstate. I'm in good hands. But I had to make a lot of decisions when I wrote my will. I had to choose who was going to pull the plug if I'm in a coma. So I picked my sibling Bryn, because they are going to inherit my money if I die. And I was like, earn it, dude, right? I go, you decide when that money drops. And they were like, okay, well, if you're in a coma not responding to anything, what do you want me to do? How long do you want me to wait? And I was like, here's what I want you to do. I want you to start Parks and Rec from the beginning. And I want you to keep it playing all day, all night in my hospital room. If we get to the end of that show and I have not woken up yet, start The Office. And then when Steve Carell leaves, just kill me. Do not make me watch Andy be manager. Don't do that to me again. Don't do that. Of being single. I used to just jump from relationship to relationship to relationship because I was so scared that I was going to die alone. And now that I'm older, I'm like, I'm not going to die alone. I don't go hiking by myself, all right? Someone will be there when I die. A doctor, a murderer. Someone will bear witness. But I've been single for the last year now, and it has been the most relaxing year of my entire life. It has been lovely. Waking up every day going, oh, no one's going to make me cry today but me. The peace, it's lovely. Here's the thing. Being single is not what sucks. Dating is what sucks. And you can opt out of that. Dating is what's shitty. The constant push and pull of hope and disappointment. Dating feels like being a stuffed animal in a claw machine. Like, oh my God, it's happening! No, it's not. Oh my God, here we go. Wow, can't believe I told people. That's embarrassing. And you're just moving me over to get to something else. I understand. I get that. And things change so quickly as you're getting older, too. I had a friend. I didn't talk to her for a couple weeks. I called her to catch up. She goes, you'll never guess. I think I met my soulmate on Bumble. Gone, just like that. They're getting married this spring. We were lying in the same pile of stuffed animals for years. I closed my eyes for 2 minutes, and when I opened them, she was outside the glass going, it'll happen for you, too! I love being the neutral friend who's not dating, because as you get closer to 30, breakups get more and more devastating. Half my friends are getting engaged, and the other half are going through the worst breakup of all time with the person they thought they were going to die with, which means half the phone calls I get are, I'm getting married, and the other half are, I'm getting old, and I'm like, I am getting Taco Bell. Who wants something? Taco Bell, good for every occasion. Nothing will make you more grateful to be single than watching your friend go through a devastating breakup. That's messed up to say, but it's the truth. I have a friend just went through a breakup, still follows her ex on social media because they're trying to be mature and evolved. Rookie mistake. Her ex just posted a photo of him and his new girlfriend, who is a model. I know, don't worry, we all called her. We're like, hey, how's it going? Have you been online today? Because we were thinking maybe doing like a no screens day. We were thinking maybe we just power down, get a quilt, find a field, maybe crack the Bible open one more time. I don't know. She's like, I already saw it. We're like, oh, we're too late. Okay, are you okay? She's like, no, honestly, I wish he was just like dating a man instead. And we're like, oh, you are so problematic, Trish. Why? Why would that be better for you if he was just dating a man instead? She goes, no, listen, because then if he dumped me for a man, it would be like, well, okay, then he just wanted something that I could never be. And we were like, well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of... No. No, we think you're so pretty, babe, but like a model? Like that's kind of like a different, like look around. Don't you think if you were a model, we'd all be models? But this isn't model squad. This is personality squad. Like this is a different team you're on. We have another friend who just got cheated on, which is crazy. You can't cheat anymore. It's not the 90s, you idiot. Your phone is tracking your every movement. You're going to get caught. You're going to go out and buy your side chick flowers. Your wife's going to get a text from Bank of America like, we noticed that Steve was being thoughtful? That just seemed like suspicious activity over here at BOA, because we know that POS. I think it's important to hang out. Thank you for coming to this. You did not have to. AI is getting pretty good. It's getting way too good. I don't trust it. My iPhone started capitalizing the G in God again without asking me. Did that happen to anyone else? Yeah, I don't know which update it was, but all of a sudden my iPhone's like, did you mean King of Kings? The robots are coming and they love the Lord. Are you guys worried about the robots? Are you concerned? Yeah. Have you looked at the people in your life? Your friends, your family, and then back at yourself and gone, uh-oh. I really wanted to marry, and when it didn't work out, I was devastated. I said, really? I didn't know about this. And my dad goes, I did. She talks about him all the time. And I was like, well, wait, who was this guy? What was his deal? And she goes, well, he was really cool, actually. He was an Alzheimer's scientist. And my dad goes, notice how that's not cured yet. And she's like, wow, honey, well, I hope we never get Alzheimer's. He's like, I hope we do, so we can all forget about this guy. I used to be way too loose with who I asked relationship advice from. I used to ask people in the audience, total strangers. I asked a couple in the front row of a show once, 2 couples therapists who had married each other. Which, I know, you ever see like quadruple stuffed Oreos and you're like, enough, right? That is a hat on a hat. It's excessive. But I was like, wow, 2 off-duty couples therapists. You gotta ask them, right? I said, do you guys have any advice for people in relationships, maybe people who are fighting a lot? And they said, we do. You know how a lot of people have a safe word to stop sex? Everyone needs to have a safe word during fights. So I asked a married friend of mine, I said, do you guys have a safe word for fights? And he was like, what? I'm like, it's a word that when you say it during the fight, it stops the fight. And he goes, oh yeah, we have one of those. I said, really? What is it? He goes, cunt. But I have to say it doesn't really work if she says it. I was like, Jesus, I was looking for like pineapple, dude, but... I used to ask people for relationship advice after breakups because I thought that was me working on myself, but it really wasn't. It was just me trying to figure out how to get into another relationship as quickly as possible so I wouldn't have to work on myself. The reason people don't want to be single for long periods of time is that once you're single for a little bit, you start to notice, ooh, some of the issues in my relationships are still here. And it's just me now. There's only one set of footprints in the sand. And no one's carrying my ass, right? Like, I've realized in the last year, I still have a lot to work on. I've realized I'm very petty in relationships. I realize that because I don't wear perfume when I'm single. Don't even think about it. I wear perfume when I'm in a relationship, though, because I know that if we break up and you smell that smell later, you'll get sad. And that makes me happy. I don't wear perfume to smell good. I wear it to haunt you later. I was on a first date with a guy. I realized we both had 3 younger siblings. I said, oh my God, let's text our sibling group chats right now. Ask them what our biggest flaw is. I'm so fun on a first date. I can't believe I'm alone. He texts his brothers, hey guys, what's my biggest flaw? And they write back, works too hard, cares too much. One of them wrote back dyslexic, which I thought was pretty funny. He couldn't read it, but I could. I text my siblings, hey guys, what's my biggest flaw? And my brother writes back immediately, probably that you expect everyone to hurt you, so you just leave before they can. I was like, dude, I'm on a date right now. He's like, oh, sorry, it works too hard. I thought this was a secure line. I'm a very emotional person. I'm a very emotional partner. I think I'm run by my emotions. Did you guys know that some people feel their feelings privately? Have you guys heard about this compartmentalizing bullshit? Some people apparently have these polite little feelings that shuffle up to them during the day, tug on their sleeve, like, hello, excuse me, I need to be felt at some point whenever you get a chance. And you're like, oh my God, well, I'm at work right now. And you're like, oh my God, you're at work? I'm so sorry. Do you have time later? Well, I get off. I do like having sex with men sometimes. I will say, does anyone like sucking dick for real? Does anyone really? Yeah. Oh, wow. Good for you. Just a quiet hand raise. That's beautiful. That's so nice. Wow. Heroes among us. Good for you. I like sucking dick the way I like going for a run. I'm proud of myself after. But during, I'm always like, why'd I do this? I didn't have to do this. There's other ways to get where I'm going. But then afterwards, I'm always like, wow, the power of the human spirit. Really is all mind over matter out there. But then during, I'm like, people should be throwing little cups of water on me for being so brave. But then afterwards, I'm like, nice, got my time down. We're trying to get faster, not better. I remember I was so scared to start going down on women. And then I went down on a girl for the first time and I was like, oh my God, that was so much better. I was so mad at my whole life. I was like, you're telling me this whole time I could have been licking ice creams. And instead I've been swallowing swords? Could have been living like a child on the boardwalk. Instead, I've been living like a carny with something to prove. Not that I'm like killing it at queer dating. I them with the guy she's dating. I was like, really? She goes, yeah, would you ever have a threesome? I was like, oh my God, no. I didn't want to hang out with two other people. I've never been in the middle seat on a flight fighting for an armrest. Like, wish we were all naked. That would be cool. I don't even think I could date an extrovert again. I dated an extrovert once. We moved in together. The first week we lived together, he's like, hey, what if we had some people over? I was like, look, if you don't want to be with me, just say so. You want to have people over what? My dead body? If you're an extrovert and you're in love with an introvert, you gotta understand, asking us to invite people over is like asking us to do anal. Watch our face change. Like, I'm sorry, is it your birthday? Seems like a big ask for a random Tuesday. I live alone now. It's incredible. I fall asleep in the middle of the bed like a boy king, just like, good night, Joffrey. It's fantastic. I eat all the food I buy. Every grocery I buy, it goes mere, it goes bad. That's power, DC. Yeah. If I clog the toilet at home, I don't have to deal with it right away. That's freedom, DC. When I lived with a man I was attracted to, I was always like, no, please, toilet, don't tell him I'm a human woman. I beg of you. Take my dark secrets to your watery grave. Remember our bargain. Now I'm like, you loser, toilet. That's what lids are for. You want to see the sky. Do your job. I was so afraid of being single all throughout my 20s. I was terrified as queer in the last couple of years. And, oh, thank you. Thank you. That's really nice of you. Because let me tell you, coming out as bisexual at 30 feels like saying to a waiter, by the way, it's my birthday. And they're like, cool, sing to yourself. You're a grown woman. So you're like, excuse me, I was very brave. I just came out. They're like, yeah, but the coast was clear, wasn't it, babe? Like, I would have come out sooner, but I have 3 younger siblings, and they're all queer, and they kept coming out. They just kept popping out like little groundhogs, and every time another one popped out, I was like, well, that's 6 more months of heterosexuality for me, I guess. I was also hesitant to come out as bisexual because there's a stigma around it, right? When you say you're bisexual, a lot of people assume that you are good at sex, and I'm not, guys, and I refuse to get better. All right? I'm not learning any more tricks, okay? I turned 30, I was like, shut it down. As Jesus said, it is finished. I'm hitting save progress. I'm gonna die on this level. But But I didn't want to tarnish the brand of bisexuality. I didn't want to bring down the team. I have so many queer friends who are so open and free with their sexualities. It's like, oh, it's so fun. I have so many like Samanthas in my friend group, and they're so fun and inspiring. But I also think we need some gay prude representation as well. Therapy gets a lot better when you're single too, because you have time to dig into things like that. When you're in a relationship, you waste half of every therapy session going over all the shit your partner won't go to therapy for. When you're single, that's an hour of you every week. It's almost too much time. You really got to start doing your homework on your days off. After my last breakup, I was coming into therapy hot every week with ideas like, hey, you know what I realized this week? The elementary school I went to growing up, across the street from a cemetery. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, I don't know, but that really seems like something, doesn't it? I bring the ingredients, you bake the cake. I'm not a doctor. I went down deep inside me, found something scary, brought it back up to you. I was so brave. Where's my treat? So brave. Favorite client. I really want to find out if I'm my therapist's favorite client. You can't just ask. They won't tell you. I've tried. The only way I can think to figure this out is to get in touch with another one of her clients. And then me and that client plan to call her over the weekend, separately, at the exact same time. Suicidal. And then we just see whose call she takes. We both want to end it. Who you want to keep here, Dr. S? And then whoever wins that face-off, we go to the next set of clients. And we just kind of do brackets, you know? Sort of like a March Sadness situation. Play an important role in their lives. I love to third wheel it with my married friends. Go out to dinner, see a movie. Because I love that moment when they walk up to meet me in front of the restaurant. And I can tell that they've been fighting in the car. Married people think you hide it so well. You're just like, let's just table it till later. Let's just table it till later and have a nice evening. And then you come in real sweaty like, hey, it's good to see you. Glad we're finally doing this. Did they bring bread? They should have brought bread. The bread should have beat us here. Hey, can we get some bread, please? Can we get something to do with our hands other than attack each other, please? How are you? Tell us about you. Don't make me look at her. Don't make me look at her. And that's when you, as a single friend, get to tell your married friends all about dating nowadays. You get to tell them about the ghosting and the catfishing and the deep fake AI porn. And you know they get back in the car a few hours later like... I don't say this enough, but I'm grateful for you. Hang out with your married friends. Go to their barbecue. I'd love to come. What can I bring? Ice, dessert, perspective. You want to know what the best part about being single is, though? I thought I was on an antidepressant. It turns out I'm not. It turns out I'm actually on a mood stabilizer that they use as an antidepressant. Fun fact about prescription drugs. Everything they prescribe, they actually use for like 4 different things. So you don't really know what your deal is until you find a combo that works and then Google all your pills by yourself. So after years of trial and error, I finally found a combination of things that worked for me. And 6 months ago, I decided to Google it, because what the hell? And it turns out that everything I'm taking is primarily used for bipolar disorder. So I went back to my psychiatrist and I was like, hey, do we think? And she was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, is this how you fucking tell people? And she's like, no, of course not. We didn't know. I'm glad we figured it out. And I was like, we? I said, you really didn't know that I was bipolar? And she goes, no, of course not. We thought we were treating anxiety and depression. And I said, okay. Because this kind of feels like a putting your dog's medication in cheese situation. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about this diagnosis. And she goes, well, if it makes you feel better, you don't have to say I am bipolar. You can say I have bipolar, which feels a lot like someone going, I said you were being a bitch. I'm so glad I know that I'm bipolar now. I mean, I have the right meds. I got a mood ring. I'm handling it. But when I first found out, it was a very tough pill to swallow, and I've swallowed a lot of pills. Because when you first find out something like that, you're like, oh man, am I gonna tell anybody? Should I tell anybody? And if I do tell people, am I hot and or talented enough to be an inspiration? Like, if I have a thing and someone else has that thing and they find out I have it too, are they gonna feel good or bad with that information? Because when I got diagnosed, they started listing names. They were like, you know who else is bipolar? Selena Gomez. And I was like, that does make me feel better. She is very pretty. Okay, I'll be bipolar. I did not grow up in a household that was very like mental health conscious. Like, we were very religious. I don't know if you've ever tried to tell your conservative dad that you have a mental health issue. It doesn't go great. When I was in high school, I was like, Dad, I think I'm depressed. And he was like, you just need some protein. Get a scoop of peanut butter. Yeah, there's a lot of dads out there just white knuckling it through life right now. Clinging to a jar of chunky Jif like it's the answer. Just a buoy in the storm. It'll pass. The only mental health advice my dad ever gave me is I was having panic attacks in high school and I didn't know what they were. And I was very stressed out. And I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And I feel like this. I don't know what to do. And he goes, all right. All I can tell you is that when you feel like this, get as far away from the people you care about as possible until you feel different. Which is advice you give a werewolf. Like, just run into the woods so you're not a monster anymore. Don't let them see you change. They won't accept you for what you truly are. And I had friends who scared me too when I was trying to get on medication. They were like, ugh, I tried antidepressants. I didn't like how I felt on them. I didn't feel like myself. And now that I'm on them, I'm like, yeah, me neither. It's the best. Okay? And I do feel like myself. I just feel like now someone's sitting on me going, shh, stop talking. You will ruin everything. We are trying to help you. You'd be married right now if you just shut the hell up. Remember that? Yeah, us too. We are trying to help you. Go to sleep. Choose a different adventure. And they warn you about the side effects when you get on medication. They go, you know, your sex drive might go down. And I'll be honest, I have experienced that since I got on medication. But I can't tell if my sex drive is lower or if my self-esteem is just higher now. You know? It's like, am I not in the mood or do I just not need the validation? Which is it? Because depression will bring you to your knees and you're like, while I'm down here, might as well make someone feel good. I do not want to waste a trip. If you're not laughing, congrats on your serotonin. And if you're like, what's serotonin? Don't worry, you have enough. I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about it on stage, and then I needed new material, and I was like, fire sale, everything goes. No, truthfully, I was surprised that I felt so bad about it, because I think I'm pretty open-minded, and I don't think anybody should feel bad if they get diagnosed with a mental illness, because it's just information about you that helps you know how to take better care of yourself. Yeah. Being bipolar, there's nothing wrong with it. Being bipolar is like not knowing how to swim. It might be embarrassing to tell people, and it might be hard to take you certain places. But they have arm floaties. And if you just take your arm floaties, you can go wherever the hell you want. And I know some of you are like, but Taylor, what if people judge me for taking arm floaties? Well, those people don't care if you live or die. So maybe who cares? Maybe fuck those people a little. I don't know. That being said, you have to take your arm floaties. Because it's not cool to know you can't swim, go to the public pool anyway, and jump into the deep end, making it everyone else's problem. And you're thrashing around going, I'm good. They're like, you're literally drowning. And then someone nice and handsome jumps in to help you. And you're like, see, I'm fine. I can totally swim. And they're like, no, you're holding him underwater. You turned Kevin